Guys, many of DeBeck's residents are excited for the financial opportunities that can come with the sales of marijuana in their town. But not everyone is looking forward to it. Some people in the town are worried about how pot shops could harm their small, close-knit community.
You know, guys, many people say there's no chance they'll be the one that's struck by lightning, but the odds of that happening may just shock you. Your odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime, 1 in 12,000. In 2012, Fruita had just over 2,000 total crimes report and no murders. Now, to show you just how low of a crime report that is, compare that to Federal Heights, who has a similar population as Fruita. They had over 6,000 crimes reported, 8 of which were murders. Now, that should show you just how safe Fruita really is. And Grand Junction also made that list of 39 cities, coming in at number 34. Those of you who are not brushed up on your dinosaur knowledge, an Apatosaurus is a plant eater and is what Littlefoot was in the popular film The Land Before Time. This ancient creature is sometimes referred to as a Brontosaurus, even though that animal actually never existed. And 5 summers ago, 2 volunteers found what they originally believed to be an Apatosaurus vertebra, but it turned out to be a femur bone, and a pretty big one at that. King will appear in Mesa County on August 18th at 8 a.m. for a formal filing of charges. We did reach out to Senator King for a comment, and he respectfully declined to talk to us about the matter, saying he appreciated us calling him, but it would be inappropriate for him to talk to us at this time. Reporting live, Stacia Strong, KJCT News 8.
There today, French President Francois Hollande says he wants the remains of all the passengers aboard that Air Algeria flight that went down in Africa on Thursday to be brought back to France. He also says he wants the site of the tragedy marked as a memorial to the 118 passengers who died.
Recent school bullying statistics from antibullies.org show nearly half of all students will deal with some type of bullying situation, and nearly 1 in 4 kids are being bullied on a regular basis.
KJCT News 8 Stacia Strong is live now with more.
Guys, the city officials estimate that parts of Grand Junction got up to an inch of rain last night, and they say when heavy amounts of rainfall fall at once, they can cause rocks like this and debris to clog up the drainage system, and it just starts flooding. And that's what happened to the Rayer family. This drainage system failed, and now parts of their home are covered with inches of mud and water.
It's a reoccurring problem whenever we have a lot of rainfall. Rainwater backs up parts of the city's storm drains, and this time it's caused serious damage to a Grand Junction family's home.
There was 2 feet of water in there. Our dryer's ruined.
And that's not all. They now have to worry about mold growing in the laundry room, as well as replacing all of the wood along the side of their home.
And just mud everywhere.
This isn't the first time Mary Rayer has had this problem. It happened last year. The storm drain at the top of their road was filled with rocks, forcing the water up and over the drain and down into their home and into their neighbors' homes. City officials say this has been an ongoing problem throughout many parts of the city.
It's an ongoing problem, and we've done a lot of things over the years to improve it, but there's still a lot of the community that is deficient in stormwater improvements, and we try to tackle a few every year.
The drains are only equipped to handle light rain and small amounts of water at a time. So when we get larger storms like the ones we've seen over the past few days, the drains just can't keep up.
Combination of water and then usually erosion, so mud and some debris, and that's what you'll see today along the Motor Street areas.
But the Rayers say they are frustrated and don't want to have to keep cleaning and repairing their home every time rain falls in the Grand Valley.
I know it's not their fault it rains, but when you don't have sufficient areas to drain water, this is what happens.
The city spent the morning out redigging this drainage system here, and it caused the Reyes a full day of digging out mud. They estimate about $2,000 worth of damage to their home. Now, we spoke to city officials. They say they're not liable for any damages done due to drainage backup or the amount of rainfall, but they do suggest that if you feel you have a claim, you contact the risk management office with the city of Grand Junction. Reporting live, Stacia Strong, KJCT News 8.
KKCO 11 News reporter Stacia Strong spoke with the family and brings us the story about the heroic dog. Stacia?
That's right, Sarah. Frankie Haney had her dog Nikita since she was born and says that she is thankful for her every day. But after they were involved in an unbelievable crash last week, she says she has an even bigger reason to thank her dog after surviving.
The reason why she's still alive.
My Jeep lost control, so we swerved out of control and we went nose first down a 63-foot cliff and flipped 4 times.
Every driver's worst nightmare came true for one mom and her young daughter after a major car accident up on the Mesa destroyed their car. While some would wonder how they got out alive, this family has their dog Nikita to thank for what she did during the incident.
My daughter was sitting right here, and she rolled out of the back, jumped up here, and when we were upside down, she ran out. Took a major blow for my daughter.
But Nikita didn't stop there. The loyal dog ran off to get help.
She actually brought the police to where I was because you couldn't see my Jeep.
It's an act Frankie says she'll never forget. And thanks to the brave actions of Nikita, her 19-month-old daughter, Lillian, lived through the horrific crash.
She got out with just bruises and a few cuts on her, and I was pretty thankful we lived.
Nikita, however, suffered several serious injuries that may never heal properly. But with the help of Black Canyon Animal Sanctuary, all of the vet bills and medical services the dog needed were taken care of. And even with torn tendons, Nikita is still playing and running around.
I'm very thankful for her.
Frankie tells me Nikita is on several medications for pain after tearing several tendons and a severe leg injury, which could take months to heal. Even after that, she may always walk with a limp. Frankie walked away from the crash with only whiplash and several cuts and bruises as well.
All right.
Well, Sarah, many of the circumstances surrounding the death of Kathleen Stetzel are still unknown. And as the investigation continues, the spotlight now turns to Stetzel's son, Daniel, who was the last person to see her alive and has now been named a person of interest. While authorities work on the case, Kathleen's family is still in shock. I sat down with her niece today, who says she can't even begin to describe how much her aunt will be missed.
She was very helpful and very giving person. She didn't have a lot of money, but she would give the shirt off of her back to anybody that needed help.
Kathleen Stetzel was very close to her family and was in constant communication with them. So not hearing from her was unusual, and that's when they started to have a bad feeling.
She calls her mother every morning at 6 o'clock, like clockwork, every morning. So her mom had called and said, Kathy didn't call me, something's wrong.
The mother of two and grandmother to one young grandson was loved by all family and friends who knew her. Brittany says just being around her was special because she was such a wonderful woman.
She loved her grandson more than anybody in the world. That was her life, and he just was born in November, and she just loved him so much. She loved all children.
Brittany says she can't imagine what family gatherings will be like without her because she had such a positive spirit.
She was a wonderful person. I loved going camping with her. I loved the holidays at her house.
While the family continues to struggle with the many unknown facts surrounding her sudden death, they also have to accept the reality that Kathleen's son Daniel could be involved somehow. Daniel, who told his family his mother left with a man around 9 p.m. Sunday night in a blue car.
That's all we got. We didn't get a name from him. He wasn't able to say anything.
Leaving them and the authorities with many unanswered questions.
We are looking for him, wanting him to come, turn himself in, tell us what happened. If he did it, then face the music. If he didn't do it, then tell us what happened.
Daniel's family is hoping he'll come back and help them piece together this seemingly unsolvable puzzle.
He's the only one that has that information. He needs to come forward, and we need to find out what happened.
No other information regarding how Kathleen Stetzel died has been released yet, but authorities do continue to look for Daniel, and he is no stranger to the law. We obtained his criminal history, and according to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, Stetzel has been arrested numerous times starting back in 2005 for crimes ranging from criminal trespassing to assault with a deadly weapon, and he was found guilty of robbery and spent some time in the Department of Corrections.